All right, enough with my business. We're being recorded.
Okay. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, Rabbi.
Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, whoops. Hold on. Okay. Forgot to close that window. All right. Welcome, everyone. I'm trying to adjust. Wait, what happened? What happened to?
Our behavior on screen.
I don't see. Noni, I don't see you anymore.
Oh, well.
I don't know what happened. Hold on. There we go. Oh, wrong. Okay, but your head is cut off. Yeah, that's better. Hope that doesn't fall over. All right. So Shabbat Shalom, everybody. It's lovely to see you. We have a very small number in the sanctuary this evening, but a number of you here on Zoom. So that is excellent. And so it's been a week. Sure has been a week.
I know.
So I'm going to go ahead and mute you all. And as I do so, I'd like to invite you to take a breath, breathe out whatever tension you might be carrying with you from this past week. However that week has felt for you and whatever you've had to do during this week, whatever you've had to deal with. Let's make a little space inside ourselves for peace, for rest, for rejuvenation. If you have a prayer book, we are beginning on page 127. That's in the bracketed numbers, the blue numbers, if you have two sets of numbers. We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat, which unites us in faith and hope, for Shabbat holiness, which inspires sacred living, for Shabbat memories glowing even in darkness, for Shabbat peace born of friendship and love. We offer thanks and blessing, O God. Is there anybody who would like to do the blessing over the candles? I am not seeing anybody. So I will do it. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. We turn now to the Kiddush on page 123. Nathan, would you be interested in reading the Kiddush in English for us?
Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who finding favor with us, sanctified us with mitzvot. In love and favor, you make the holy Shabbat our heritage as a reminder of the work of creation. As first among our sacred days, it recalls the exodus from Egypt. You chose us and set us apart from the peoples. In love and favor, you have given us your holy Shabbat as an inheritance. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat.
If you're able, I invite you to rise.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahavo v'ratzon hinchilanu. Zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom tehila lemikra kodesh zeicher l'tziat Mitzrayim Hivanu v'chata yotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodecha be'ahava v'ratzon hinechaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Amen.
We turn now to page 138 for Lecha Dodi. Beloved, come with me to meet the Shabbat bride.
Lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamo v'zacho b'dibor echad השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשמו תפארת עליתי לו. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם סוכה, סוף מעשה במחש ותחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי בורק ומי אורי, אורי אורי שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה.
The Baruch Hu is on page 146. I invite you, if you're able, to rise or remain standing.
Lai 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 la 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 lai lai.
La 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 la.
La la lai la 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 lai lai lai. Lai 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 la 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 lai lai.
La 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 la.
Lai 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 la 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 lai lai lai. Baruchu et Adonai, HaMevorach HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, Le'olam va'ed, Le'olam va'ed. La 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 la.
La 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 la.
La 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 la. La 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 la.
La 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 la.
La 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 la.
Page 149, I invite you to read with me. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. Page 150.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amecha ahaveta, Amecha ahaveta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu, b'shochveinu u'v'kumenu, na'aseh b'chukecha v'nizmach b'divrei Toratecha, u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki heim chayenu, ve'or yameinu, uvahem negei yomam yomam v'layla, ve'ahavadcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohiv Amo Yisrael, Ohiv Amo Yisrael.
The Shema is on page 152.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod, Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
You may be seated.
ואהבת אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Emet. Page 157, I invite you to read with me. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Page 158.
No. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, Amen. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. Amen. Amen.
Page
Shaman?
162.
I think you're out of order. Yeah. So, we missed me Kamocha. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. בני ובין בני ישראל לא תהי לעולם, בני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, לדורותם ברית עולם, לדורותם ברית עולם.
The tefillah begins on page 164. I invite you, if you're able, to rise.
Yalla lai 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 Adonai, Yalla lai 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 svatai tiftach, Yalla lai 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 ufi yagid, ufi yagid tehilatecha, Yalla lai 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 Adonai, Yalla lai 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 svatai tiftach, Yalla lai 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 ufi yagid, ufi yagid tehilatecha, Yalla lai 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 Adonai, Yalla lai 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 svatai tiftach, Yalla lai 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 ufi yagid, ufi yagid tehilatecha, Yalla lai 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 Adonai, Yalla lai 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 svatai tiftach, Yalla lai 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 ufi yagid, ufi yagid tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר, משיח מגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, בחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטול, מכלכל חיים בחסד, בחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו, בשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומיתו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
You may be seated. Page 173. You set aside the seventh day for your name, the pinnacle of creation, and you blessed it above all other days, more sacred than all festival times. So it is written in your Torah, the heaven and the earth were finished, and all their array. On the seventh day, God had completed the work that had been done, ceasing then on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, and ceased from all the creative work that God had chosen to do. Please join me. Our God and God of our ancestors, be pleased with our rest. Sanctify us with your mitzvot and grant us a share in your Torah. Satisfy us with your goodness and gladden us with your salvation. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Adonai, our God, grant as our heritage your holy Shabbat, that Israel who sanctifies your name may rest on it. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 175. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. We come to our blessing of gratitude, and it's our custom to invite people to share what they're feeling grateful for today. So who is feeling grateful for something today? You can say it out loud, or you can put it in the chat if you're on Zoom. Anybody? Gratitude? Diane Schenker. please unmute yourself.
I am grateful for good health, for the good health of my children and their children, and for all of my dear friends. And I wish them all well. Thank you.
Amen.
Amen.
Linda Kushner Silverman.
Very grateful for an excellent blood report.
Amen to that. Let's see in the chat. Charlotte says she was able to speak to Susan Sisler today. Modim anachnu lach that was possible. And Karen is grateful for a beautiful day at the beach today. It sure is beach weather. Modim anachnu lach for being able to go to the beach. Diane Keston says, I'm grateful that I was able to get up when I fell on the Coney Island boardwalk and that nothing was broken except my sense of dignity. Oh, thank goodness for that. So glad that you're okay. Anybody else?
I'm grateful. I'm grateful that my daughter Emily had Shabbat dinner tonight in Jerusalem, and she's having the time of her life. She's just beyond like enjoying her time in Israel. So very grateful for that.
That is wonderful. Modim anachnu lach indeed. Sylvia, are you okay? Okay, you're resting. Okay. Just making sure. So page 177. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot. Page 178 is Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Lamcha Tasim Leholom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Lamcha Tasim Leholom. Ki atah melech Adon L'chol hashalom. בטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. בטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום עולמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. La Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam.
Baruch atah Adonai hamivarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. We've come now to our quiet prayer. If you have a prayer book, there are words on pages 180 and 181. If you can see the screen, there are words on the screen, but we can always use the words that are in our own hearts. We continue quietly.
יהיו לרצונים רעפי והגיון ליבי. יהיו לרצונים רעפי והגיון ליבי לפניך. יהיו לרצונים רעפי והגיון ליבי. יהיו לרצונים רעפי והגיון ליבי לפניך. אדוני צורי, אדוני צורי וגואלי. אדוני צורי, אדוני צורי וגואלי. Go inside your heart, just be. Go inside your heart and see what it wants, what it needs, what it yearns when you breathe. Go inside your heart and see. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be kind, be true. May they be acceptable to you. Oh, my rock, my rock, and my redeemer.
We turn our thoughts now to those among us and those in our hearts who are ill and in need of healing of body, of mind, or of spirit. I'd like to invite you, if you have names of people for whom you're praying for healing that you did not send into the office, you could put those in the chat, and I'll also give everyone an opportunity to add names out loud. We hold in our thoughts and in our prayers for healing this evening Dan Sacker, Ira Weiss, Allison Plummer, Rabbi Dara Lerner, Susan Sisler, Joellen Fox, Alan Fremer, Valerie Pace, George Landberg, Susan Bilecki, Dana Haitkin Nelson, Arlene Rosenthal, Michael Luck, Barbara Weiner, Joan Lifshutz, Elizabeth Lee, Genevieve Lightfoot, Amy Juskowitz Soonseller, Deanna Roth, Jonathan Falkowski, Martha and Ed Vincent, Ingrid Grosso, Audrey Cohen, Eddie DeAngelis, Vicky Lightmaker, Nettie Traumer, Mia Gannon, Jerry Prezioso, Jeff Abel, Patricia Christensen, Monica Bayer, Liz Yasuda, Mark and Paul Steiner, Celia Karp, Marion Mandel, Anne-Marie Rogan, Sharon Zinn, Nicole Moskowitz, Patty and Erwin Cohen, Jonathan Dash, Carolyn Dash, Steve Abramowitz, Corey Gerard, Bernard Koenig, Donna Saltz, Michelle Fetter, Eric Fetter, Tamima Feder, Ellen Dufour, Joe DeVito, Todd Petrie, Rabbi Joel Soffin, Arlene Scher, Diane Heinzerling, Penny Fisher, Larry Kinsberg, 16 Brown, Gloria Silverman, Jody Siegel Stein, Saul Siegel, Laurie Hope, Sal Tomaso, Lauren and Ian Silverman, Jerry Jaffe, B. Ford and family, Sandy and Larry Feldman, Gittel Bena Bat Yosef, Joellen Fox, Alan Zarrow, Eva Braxmajor, Shlomo Nakash, Donovan, son of Sarah, Carol Rose, Lisa Rose, Linda Kushner Silverman, Stacy and David Mauser, Hannah Paines, Sheila Brenman, Judith Kors, Batya Unger, Hope Tomsky, Rebecca Fox, Jillian Huff, Meredith Butternick, David Bonnie, and Adam Bruner, Jeff Horn, Helene Horn, Jesse Laban, Pat Colella, Paul Markowitz, Delphine Wolf, Jeannie Osiello, Dottie Tabakman, Jackson and Tara Kushner, Ronnie Katlowitz, Shelley Samet, Stevie Dopbolt, Sherry Jacobs, Millie Yashulma, Lila Fox, Elliot Wolfsey, Paul Markowitz, Roz Nadell, Dr. Craig Rosenbaum, Baby James Scarpula, Nancy Kelly, Ann Kelly, Cindy Rabinowitz, Fiona Callender. Alan?
Bonnie Greenbaum, Arnold Moss, Karen Eichel, Howard Mishkin, Bill Schaefer, Faye and Jean Guskin, the Americans still abandoned in Afghanistan, and the New York City Police Department.
Mary Lou?
Laura Cricky, Susan and Tony Vai, Jeannie and Larry Green, Lainey and Larry Benikow, Eve Heyman, Estelle Altork, Brenda Katrosser, Brenda McBasey, Fred Miller, and Bill Eichler. Thank you.
Diane Shanker, I think I saw your hand before. Would you unmute, please? Diane?
Eva Braxmajor.
Thank you. Anyone else? We include also all of those suffering from COVID-19, those who are survivors of gun violence or who have been wounded in areas of conflict like Ukraine, Syria, Afghanistan. We include those who are survivors of terrorism in Israel and other places, and those who have been harmed in natural disasters. The Misha Berach is only on the screen. It's a different one than the one that's in the book.
Misha Berach Avotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak veYaakov. Misha Berach Imotenu, Sarah Rivka Leah Verachel. May the ones who bless the mothers, may the one who bless the fathers, hear our prayers. 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 Hear our prayer and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Misha Berach Avotenu, Misha Berach Imotenu,
prayer.
Hear our 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 prayer. And bless us as well.
Shabbat Shalom again. At the very end of the Torah, we read, "Never again did there arise in Israel a prophet like Moses, whom Adonai singled out face to face for the various signs and portents that Adonai sent him to display in the land of Egypt against Pharaoh and all his courtiers and his whole country, and for all the great might and awesome power that Moses displayed before all Israel." Those are the last lines of the book of Deuteronomy. They come after Moses has died, after he has passed leadership of the Israelites to Joshua. But of course, that's not our Torah portion today. Our Torah portion for this Shabbat is Korach. I brought this text from the end of the Torah because it is very clear from it that while there were other prophets, Moses was different. Really, he was in another category. In this week's Torah portion, we see him telling the rebellious Korach, Datan, and Abiram and their followers that if they die in a normal way, then God didn't choose Moses to be the leader and Aaron as the high priest. But if they die in an unheard of way, if the ground opens up and swallows them alive, then God has chosen Moses as leader and Aaron as high priest. Now, the text says nothing about Moses consulting with God about this. Moses just says, God is going to do this outlandish thing, and then God does it. No other prophet can do anything like that. But that's not why I think this Torah portion really shows the greatness of Moses, though. In this Torah portion, maybe more than any other, we see what a truly great leader Moses is and what an incredible partner to God he is. When Korach, Datan, and Abiram rebel against Moses and Aaron, they say, "You have gone too far. For all the community are holy, all of them, and Adonai is in their midst. Why then do you raise yourselves above Adonai's congregation?" Now, this is not three people accusing two people. Korach and his buddies have 250 men with them, and they're all chieftains. They're leaders of the community. These aren't the riffraff. It's 250 prominent men confronting two men and accusing them of taking power for themselves illegitimately. Now, if you remember back to when God first gave Moses this job, you know that Moses objected. He didn't want to do it. He didn't feel qualified. In the Torah portion from just a couple of weeks ago, Moses tried to quit. "It's too much for me," he told God. And God briefly put prophecy in the mouths of the elders to take some of the pressure off for a little while. Elsewhere in the Torah, we're told how humble Moses is. Shakespeare said, "Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them." Moses is definitely one of the latter, those who have greatness thrust upon them. He did not choose this. And now here these people are accusing him of grabbing power for himself. It must be a terrible moment for him. Now, God is on Moses' side. God says, "Get out of the way. I'm going to annihilate everyone." And here comes the first instance of Moses' incredible leadership in this Torah portion. He tells God no. He says, "Oh God, source of the breath of all flesh, when one member sins, or 250, will you be wrathful with the whole community?" At this moment, when he's facing a rebellion against his leadership, he is still able to step into the breach between God and the people to save them from God's wrath. But there's another moment a little later on in our Torah portion that I think shows even greater leadership by Moses. After the earth swallows up the 250 rebels, or the earth swallows up some of them and the rest of them are consumed by fire, whatever, they're all dead. The people are, perhaps understandably, pretty freaked out. And as people so often do, they miss the point of what has just happened. And all the Israelites, all of them, turn on Moses and Aaron and say, you two have brought death to God's people, holding them responsible for this. So now God again tells Moses and Aaron to get out of the way so that God can wipe them out. And God starts doing it. A plague begins. God starts annihilating them. And Moses immediately turns to Aaron and tells him to hurry up and grab his fire pan and incense and get out there and make expiation for the people, essentially to make God stop. So Aaron does it, and they actually succeed at stopping God, who has started to destroy the people. And these are the very people who just accused them of bringing on the death of the rebels. So Moses, even in this moment, is able to put the safety of the people above his own outrage about their behavior toward him. He is able to step into the breach between the people and God at this moment that must be personally painful. And that is truly great leadership. From this, we can learn how important it is to be able to keep the big picture in mind. And those who are in leadership have that responsibility even more than those who are not in leadership. When we are feeling personally wounded, it is so easy to focus on our own pain and ignore the whole, especially when it's our responsibility to care for the very people who have hurt us. I'd like to invite us to consider what we need for ourselves in order to be able to continue to care about and see the big picture, even when we ourselves are hurting. This weekend, we celebrate the 4th of July. It is a time to remember those who have kept their eyes on the big goals, on what is right for our country as a whole. There are times in our history when our leaders have not done this well, and many times when some groups have been left out of that big picture. We have made progress, and sometimes we have lost ground. Let us remember that there is always work to do, and we are responsible for participating in that work. May we take strength from our greatest leaders, from Moses through the present day, and may we always push toward justice. Amen and Shabbat Shalom.
Freedoms held hostage by hatred and fear, crying a desperate cry. Who will come running? Which ones will hear? Which ones will turn and deny? Mercy's been challenged by a dangerous sword, held by an angry hand. Who will go save her? Who'll strike a chord, proclaiming throughout the land? Rally the angels, there's work to be done. Go sound the trumpets, come all and come on. Justice is calling that we lead the way, and history will ask what we did on this day. Goodness is begging that we listen close and rise to an ancient call that asks us to stand up against all her foes and fight until each of them falls. Rally Rally the angels, his work to be done. Go sound the trumpets, come all and come one. Justice is calling that we lead the way, and history will ask what we did on this day. No time for silence, no time to wait, no time to gamble humanity's fate. Rally the angels, his work to be done. Go sound the trumpets, come all and come one. Justice is calling that we lead the way, and history will ask. Rally the angels, his work to be done. Go sound the trumpets, come one and come one. Justice is calling that we lead the way, and history will ask what we did on this day. History will ask what we did on this day. History will ask what we did.
We turn now to the Aleinu. It begins on page 586 at the top of the page. I invite you, if you're able, to rise.
Aleinu לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בגופי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. We turn our thoughts now to those who are no longer with us, our loved ones who have died in the past days or weeks or months, or in past years at this time of the year. I've shared our yahrzeit list for this coming week to the screen. If you have additional names that you would like to add, please put them in the chat and everyone will have a chance to add names out loud. We remember those who have died in the past year. Ron Cricky, Mimi Karp, Rochelle Rolnick, Elaine Drucker, Matthew Bruner, Maddie Rosenbaum, Myron Jacobson, Lester Schenker, John Valet, Yefim Polyak, the Reverend Eleanor Lee McGee Street, Arthur Goldstein, Lada Bloom, Irv Golden, Arthur Derry, Andrew Mazzella, Joyce Braziller, Linda Gilbert Schneider, Della Cohen, Fran Arnowitz, Selma Carl, Harold Carl, Emily Seth, Moshe Usher Ryanitz, Huma Saber, Henrietta Kerner, Lila Bloomfield, John Carfisi, Andy Glansman, Todd Zeitlin, John Previtt Jr., Augie Dorio, Janet Esposito, Kay Josephs, Arnold Block, Elizabeth Clark, Kyle McGee Sr., Ida Houston, Louisa S. Butte, Perry De La Touche, Ira Roth, Roberta Hayrath, George Liss, the Reverend Claude Park Street, Sylvia Tishkovich, Ellen Belofsky, Cindy Retagliata, Dolores Weinberger, Suzanne Lechnos, Shirley Kapker. On this 4th of July, all of those who have died in service to the independence of our nation. On our yard site list today are included Dorothy Brody Gordon, remembered by Nancy Frost, Louis Dan, Paul Dan's father, Morris Dabrowski, James Lieberman's father, Myrna Levine, Robert Levine's mother, Seymour Resnikoff, Shari Chappelle's father, Lillian Ridley, Nancy Frost's daughter, Betty Rose, Linda Horowitz's aunt, Pauline Sofian, Gerard Sofian's mother, and Donald Tattenbaum, Jennifer Tattenbaum's father and Myra Tattenbaum's husband. Roberta Kessman, George Politis, Elide Colella, Stephen Cross, Stuart Wolfman, Arlene Sevrinsky, Bradley Varndell, Terry Keston, Elaine Wilkinson, Nat Kushner, Celia Rubenstein, Morris Gersonowitz, Louis Fox, Hilda Kornhauser, Winston Grant, Eslin's beloved brother. It is his 5th yard site. Alan?
It's the same name. I don't know if it's the same person. Marty Drucker would be Lenny's father.
Thank you. Nathan? We include also all of those who have died in gun violence in Ukraine, in Afghanistan, in Syria, in other areas of conflict. We include those who have died from terrorist attacks in Israel. We include those who have died of COVID-19, and we include all of those who have died from other causes, whether in human-created disaster or natural disaster, or alone and homeless on the streets of our cities. The Mourner's Kaddish is on page 598. I invite you to rise and join in if you're able, or to participate according to your own custom. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'alma divrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'chayeh d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agala u'vizman kariv v'yamru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mibarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yit hadar, v'yit alev, v'yit halal, shemei kudasha, b'rihu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, damiran b'alma v'yamru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'el kol Yisrael, v'yamru, amen. Oseh shalom v'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru.
Amen.
Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to the bereaved here among us and wherever they may be. And let us say,
Amen.
Amen. You may be seated.
Ose shalom bimromav, oyaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimromav, oyaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimromav, oyaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, Yisrael. Yosei Shalom, Yosei Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael.
At this time, I'd like to invite Adrian to give us the announcements.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you to Rabbi Heidi and Noni and Michael for a wonderful service. Thank you to Nathan Schrader for doing the Kiddush. Tomorrow, B'yachad, 10 o'clock in person and on Zoom. 11 o'clock is Emelina Eckstein's bat mitzvah, also in person and on Zoom. Tuesday, we have gentle chair yoga with Gail and Bob at 4 o'clock. Thursday, new day for Torah study, 1 o'clock, Torah study with Rabbi Heidi. So make note of the new day. And that evening is Israeli dance for those who participate at 7:30. Friday, we're back here. There's no poetry text study next week. There will be poetry text study the following week. And we're here for Shabbat services again. A couple of other things coming up. If you're still interested in Cyclones tickets, there are still tickets available. The game is July 17th, 2 p.m. So there are a few left. Buy now. You will enjoy it. Honey from the Heart. The email went out. The link is now open. Time to stock up on your honey for the High Holy Days. And here's something. You're getting a sneak preview because this hasn't even been announced yet. Monday or Tuesday, an email's going out about a program we're having here at Temple and on Zoom on July 10th, 3 p.m. Two documentary filmmakers are coming to Beshert to premiere 30 minutes of a work in progress that's called Article 116, Beyond Citizenship. The documentary explores the meaning of German citizenship that was stolen by the Nazis during the Second World War, and the stories behind the descendants who are currently trying to reclaim that citizenship. So you'll be able to see 30 minutes of the documentary, and then there'll be a talk following that with the filmmakers and Emma Tattenbaum-Fine, the holder of our Jacqueline Smith Memorial Scholarship, is going to moderate the discussion. And again, look for the email early next week. It's going to be a great program. Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and have a wonderful and safe and healthy holiday weekend.
Thank you. We are going to close with Zebazeh and also then God Bless America. I invite you, if you're able, to rise.
May good fortune and blessing be found here. May the music of memory resound here. May the works of our hand and the work of our soul make us stronger, make us whole. Zeba, zeba, ze, zeba, zeba, ze, zeba, zeba, ze, b'yachad. Oh, zeba, zeba, ze, zeba, zeba, ze, zeba, zeba, ze, b'yachad. May we seek peace and understanding. May we cherish every companion. May the work we put in and the joy we express make us stronger, make us blessed. May the builders that lay the foundation, may they rise up in each generation. May the ones who invest never tire nor rest. They make us stronger, make us blessed. Zeba, zeba, ze, zeba, zeba, ze, zeba, zeba, ze, b'yachad. Oh, zeba, zeba, ze, zeba, zeba, ze, zeba, zeba, ze, b'yachad. Kol Yisrael, Arevim, ze la ze, May the music of memory resound here. May the work of our hands and the work of our souls make us stronger, make us whole. Zeba, zeba, ze, zeba, zeba, ze, zeba, zeba, ze, biachad. Oh, zeba, zeba, ze, zeba, zeba, ze, zeba, zeba, ze, biachad. Kol Yisrael, Arivim, Zelazeh. Kol Yisrael, Arivim, Zelazeh. Zeba, zeba, ze, zeba, zeba, ze, zeba, zeba, ze, biachad. Oh, zeba, zeba, ze, zeba, zeba, ze, zeba, zeba, ze, biachad. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha Shalom. May God bless you and keep you. May God's face shine on you and be gracious to you. May God lift God's face toward you and give you peace. Amen.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem haaretz. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat
Thank you
shalom,
for
everybody.
your
Shabbat
Shalom,
shalom.
everybody. Have a safe
Hallelujah.
weekend. Thank you, Rabbi
Have a
Emily.
safe weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for a lovely service. Shabbat shalom.
Happy holiday, everybody. Please be safe.
You too.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, Joyce.
Shalom, Joyce.
Charlotte. Hello.
Hello.
Joyce.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Hi.
Hey, good night, everybody.
Night, y'all.